I shot Ryan when he was down there too. My bad.
You're classy.
Just making sure.
That's the fun thing about playing with friends. You don't get all salty afterwards.
I don't know. D and Sam get pretty intense.
I saw the comment section for that, and everyone like, "Oh, you guys still friends anymore?"
Well, it's because that's the second time Sam has shot me out of anger because I killed him. Actually,
that
the third time.
That exchange, I didn't realize that you guys had like shot, and like walked away. I was like, whoa, we missed that completely.
Yeah.
I heard some of it, but I'm like, whatever. I just figured it was just a Sam and D moment.
I like how you roll in the comment section like, we're still friends.
Yeah. Well,
Everything's
oh
fine.
God, is that the end of LAN party? It's like, no, guys, Sam just likes to be a little.
If you guys haven't noticed, we've already been rolling. But anyway, we are talking about.
We're cutting that part.
No, we're not. Ryan's leaving this in here. We have D's behind the camera from Node, just chilling with us today. I don't know why he's not on the show, but it's fine. He just came down to give us our memory cards back from filming that excellent episode of Trouble in Terrorist Town featuring Matt and myself, and we were talking about the heated moments where Matt called me a idiot for shooting him.
That didn't happen on camera, so.
I'm not that. Hey, it's all
they cut that
Apparently, I'm a devious person or whatever.
He's just a very good trader, and I was very frustrated that I was.
It's because I'm like you have to
terrible
understand,
at doing what.
I think what it comes down to is it comes down to the fact that I've been airsofting for so long and I had to role play in so many airsoft
games. I just don't
games.
trust you at all anymore.
It's okay. No one's good. I already had like one strike, and then this was like strike 3 and 4 probably, and it's just like no one's gonna trust me. I'm probably gonna get shot like in the beginning of every game now.
Although now I know that when Ryan's a traitor, he just nonstop talks. You walk around like you don't give a. Like, you're just like, oh, what's up? What are you guys doing here? It's like, why don't you seem nervous at all? Like there's zero nervousness. Because like you rolled up on D like, oh hey D, what's going on in here? And D's just like, what are you doing? Like I don't like what are you doing? Can I trust you? And you're like, yeah, whatever. Like what?
I figured that would be entertaining.
Okay, so that's apparently all we're going to talk about on NSRT today. We're not even going to bring up the questions we have.
Sorry.
No. We're just going to talk about this. Next episode.
I'll let you guys.
Oh, it's all good. All right, bye, D. Bye.
It's nice to see you. Okay. I've got it. No, I got it.
All right, what?
George is going to do answer alone. Ladies, dude. Just do the first one. Later.
This is from JDM Crew 12 hours ago. Dear insert.
Just do it.
You want me to do it? All right. Dear insert. If you haven't noticed, our topic today is the future airsoft theme. Hey, Ryan.
Hey.
On the topic of future airsoft, my question is, what do you think the future of airsoft is? Is it tomorrow or a week or what?
Or 2 from now, or further down the road.
Oh, it's
punctuate, though.
Yeah. Never mind. Okay, so it's basically asking like what we think airsoft's going to be like next week, what we think airsoft is going to be like a month from now, what we think airsoft's going to be like 20 years from now. Well, I don't think airsoft will exist in 20 years.
20 years.
I don't know, man. I mean,
it's got a shelf life now.
No, I don't know if it has a shelf life. Like, I just don't know airsoft, at least in the current sense or in the current state of it. I mean, it really kind of depends. I think it depends a lot on what the video game industry is doing.
It's interesting. I think a lot of the technology is sort of capping out because right now is the biggest issue is like I'm talking like purely performance wise. Like if you want to like talk about like we need to get guns like shooting better and farther and stuff like that. Like there's only so much performance you can squeeze out of a plastic ball. Like that's a problem performance wise, and that limits a lot of other factors about the game. So I think he was also being kind of snarky the way he wrote it.
What? He's being kind of snarky?
Yeah, it's like a week, 2 weeks now.
Oh, yeah. Next week, I don't know. Probably a new gun's going to come up on our website.
Oh, Matt's back.
Tag in.
Hey, question. So the question is, what do you... he told me to do it.
Okay.
What do you think airsoft will be tomorrow, a week from now, 2 weeks from now, 10 years from now, 15 years from now, 20 years from now, etc.?
Oh, my gosh.
And we were talking about, like, Ryan was saying that the technology is kind of, like, starting to cap out a little bit. I think if anything, we'll get maybe more reliable guns, but in terms of like, you can't get a BB to really shoot that much farther anymore.
No.
You know. So, what do you think? What are your opinions? What do you have?
I think at some point
Are you gonna airsoft forever?
I mean, if I physically can, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, it's.
So you're gonna be like 50 years old, be like, "What's up, guys?
Dude,
Show up to
if
the
I can
airsoft
physically
field."
get down the CQB field and I'd
Dude,
still do it.
there's some old guys that play.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
mean, there's some guys like bringing their kids and stuff. Like 50s, I don't feel like an unreasonable age to keep playing or something.
I mean, I
Yeah.
play hockey with a dude who's like 70. So.
That's what I'm saying. Like, we used to ride down Mammoth with guys that were like 75 that were still going down Mammoth on mountain bikes. Like,
Yeah.
if I'm still physically able, I'll still be playing airsoft. I think at some point the guns. I agree. I think technology is just kind of plateauing. But I feel like someone will figure out a better way to hop rounds,
Okay.
or manufacturers will integrate the like an R-Hop style or Miracle Barrel style
Okay.
hop right out of the box. And I feel like at some point the M4, M16, AR-15 is going to cease to be the most popular platform.
Really?
Because at some point, like,
But that's
it's no longer
only-
going to be the standard issue.
Here's the thing though about the AR-15 platform, and this is something you have to understand. They tried to replace it.
Right,
You know, it's been one of those things where they thought the G36 was going to take over. They thought that other gun that they were making for the future Warrior program was going to replace it. They thought all these guns
that
were.
shark-looking
They thought
thing?
the ACR was going to replace it. They thought the SCAR was going to replace it. The list goes on and on of companies that were going to replace it.
Right.
And guess what?
The 416 did it.
The 416 did it, yeah, but I mean, come on, it's just a it's just a
It's
piston,
just- it's
it's
just
just a piston-driven AR system
yep,
that they took from the G36. Come on,
That's
come
true.
on now, come on.
I would like to see a resurgence of the G3 and like older guns like that. Not in real world shooting.
In
but
airsoft,
like in airsoft, I'd like to see.
I would honestly, if a G3 came back, they'd be really tempted to buy one, just because talk about one of the all-time coolest guns.
It came in a variety of lengths.
It was, I mean, the
It's like
real
it's
one
like
was
an
amazing.
MP5 with a magazine that works well.
Yeah, 7.62.
No, I mean like for airsoft.
Yeah, I understand. I'm just explaining. So
Oh
yeah,
yeah, yeah. And now we have so many holster options or mag
options.
pouch options.
Yeah, that's true. Like before,
This is my.
This is your mag pouch.
mhm.
You still wearing your cry pants? I see.
Mm-hmm.
Are you gonna be your new pajama bottoms? Like
These
Miguel?
are just my all the time pants. I'm gonna shower in them. I'm gonna wear them all the time. I'm gonna play airsoft in them. I'm gonna go to parties with them. If I have to be formal, I'm just gonna put these on and then wear a tie. These are just the best Ranger Green things ever. I'm loving the stretchy knees.
Do you want to draw a question?
Oh yeah.
Matt got his new cry pants.
All right.
He feels quite pleased with himself.
My wallet really hurts today. Crazy Boar 365 asks, Dear Insert, I think the future of airsoft will all depend on if this next bill passes, on whether the guns will have brightly colored or not, or not if it does.
Okay, so it's about.
Oh, brightly colored or not. If it does, we are doomed for airsoft. If not, I think that airsoft will definitely thrive and become a big thing in the future. In parentheses, God, I hope they read this in the next insert. LOL. Hey, we got you.
All right. So I mean, we have the thing going on in Massachusetts. We've had things go on in California. We've had things attempted nationally.
Right.
You know, and there's different ways to support that. You know, whether it's with the RSSA or various other organizations that are doing their fight. You know, and we're doing our part too. Like people were saying, like the retailers are doing nothing. That's absolutely untrue. It's just hard to get everybody to cooperate together. But in light of anything like that, like this is going to be on the point. Do you think, like, okay, let's go flashback a few years ago.
Yeah.
Do you think if 798 passed and we'd all be basically in a force to have brightly colored airsoft guns right now, would you have stopped airsofting?
No.
Yeah, I would have had it.
Because
Because
at the end of the day,
I would have made an M4 that's orange.
Yeah.
I would have probably actually gone back to the roots and just speed soft all day.
and that's
like,
really
you know,
kind of where it ends up being is I think if that happened, and keep in mind this is mostly having to do with America, because internationally I don't think there's going to be any cessation of airsoft play.
Well, I mean, there's the UCARA. Like, here's the thing. I think if something like that came through, it would force the U.S. industry to adapt a UCARA type system and to push for it. And I'm sure that that actually would gain a lot of traction and legislation among the party that wants to have the colored guns, because what it would do is push adults to be responsible, but at the same time registering things and all that. I think they'd be wouldn't be opposed to it. So
Right, and
I mean,
and at the same time, similar to the current law in California, you know, the coloration really only applies at the time of sale.
True.
So I think you'd start to see more gun wraps. I think you'd start to see more people using draperies,
Paint jobs.
and paint jobs, and so there'd be a huge spike in on
there was
new
going to be no
new crawl
way.
spray paint.
Yeah, there was going to be no way to like regulate it
Right.
after the point of sale anyway. Like
Right.
that happens all the time. You can't control it, and so
Plus, the reality is that the people who are breaking the law are going to continue to break the law.
True.
If you want to keep
that's-
people safe, it's not the
that's-
lawbreakers who are.
But that's a completely different part of the discussion. It's just like, would airsoft die? Because I think airsoft would take a hit. I think there'd be some people who wouldn't maybe want to do it anymore. But I disagree that people would stop because I would still play. You would still play. Like
So at least that's two people. So,
Yeah,
there you go. Two people who still play.
I mean,
I know Ryan would still play because
Yeah.
he, has a bunch of.
yeah,
neon
Ryan would
colored
just
guns
give
anyway.
Ryan a more of an excuse to like
Wears B backpack.
wear his B backpack. He'd have a gun. Well, I don't know what's your favorite color, Ryan.
He'd put bunny ears
No,
on a gun.
dude,
if
I would
he
paint my gun like yellow and black.
Yeah, yeah.
Orange.
Yeah.
And he'd put like a little like B like.
He'd put little googly eyes on the front of it.
Yeah.
This is what he's doing tonight.
This is what he's doing tonight.
Paul, a new
this
question.
Is, this is his Friday night plan. Is to now spray paint his.
I've got an idea.
Okay.
I don't know why
Graham
you turned
Xavier
out to be
Schmidt
Cartman.
asks, how far do you think MilSims will go? MilSims. For instance, we already have 40-hour games.
Mm-hmm.
How far do you think it'll go? I think right now it's kind of at a, you kind of have, I think it's kind of capped, meaning, like, sure, like there are groups out there like Eastwind, for example. I think it's like a whole week or something like that. Like, I think some people want the immersion thing. Some people want different aspects of the games. I don't think they could gonna go on for like months. That would be ridiculous.
Right.
So how far could it go? Maybe you could. The only thing I could see is maybe more military bases used, or maybe more military vehicles used.
Right.
Like, somebody having the power of somehow like being able to obtain like a whole fleet of Humvees or
Right.
something like that, to the point where you have like logistic support at an unheard of airsoft scale.
Well, the great thing too about there being different companies that offer different MilSim experiences allows you to pick and choose kind of what your flavor is.
Yeah,
you've got MilSim events that do have that 40-hour immersive camping in game for 24 hours a day, 2 days in a row. You can do that. And at the same time, you can also go to an event where it is a MilSim structure, but you still get to go home at the end of the day or go back to your hotel or even camp off-site. You're not getting shot at. And so you really can find any number of event coordinators that fall within the two extremes.
And that's good for airsoft. I mean, there are players I have met who don't like the immersive experience, don't want to be out in in the rain. And like you would have hated of JTR. I thought it was awesome, but because it was a personal challenge.
Right.
But like there's some people who don't like those things. There's some people who do. And then on the other side of the spectrum, there's some people who just want to go to the local airsoft field and shoot full auto, high speed, and have fun and all that, which is also a lot of fun. And some people who are at that upper echelon forget about that aspect
Right.
of airsoft. I said it so many times years ago that there's some people who take these MilSim ops way too serious to a point where they forget what airsoft is. You're playing with a toy gun.
Yep.
So have fun with it, and
Yeah.
like. There's
Wear one knee pad for
yeah,
once.
yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
It's like wear one knee pad. So with your cry pants, are you gonna have knee pads on both, or are you just gonna put knee pads on one side?
That's a good question. I hadn't thought of that. Just rock one knee pad. Well, no, I'm not. I can't wear these for CQE because the cry knee pads they're too gummy. Like they won't slide.
No, yeah, you can't. They can't slide.
Yep. But I think we'll also start to see larger and larger events.
Yeah, I'd say, but I also think that we're gonna see more storyline events. I think we're gonna see more. This is something we're all doing on a company on our own, but I think we're gonna see a lot more people following things where it's like a storyline where you're arcing things going on in one part of the country to another part of the country to another part of the country to another part of the country.
I agree.
I'm glad you agree. High five. Woo!
Tactical grouse.
Tactical grouse. What?
Hi, Insert. What are your thoughts on the competition aspect of airsoft, like the G&G World Cup that we saw Matt attend? Will we see more of that, and do you think more countries will participate in events like that?
Well, you have obvious insight of what
Yeah.
do you think? I mean, I don't know about you, but like, for example, the reason that paintball right now is still very successful is the competitive World Cup
Right.
thing that is insane to watch. Exceptional athletes. These guys are professionals.
Right.
They get paid to do this, and it's exciting. Like, even if you don't like paintball, like, being, if you've ever had an opportunity, if you have a local paintball field that puts on one of these things, just go attend and like just see. Like it's like watching a sporting event in a way. Not it's like watching a game of hockey or a football game.
It's very physical.
It's very demanding and takes a ton of skill. So airsoft, because it has no marking device, will never be able to fulfill that void.
Unless somebody invents a marking device that doesn't foul your barrel.
Even still, it's not what airsoft is. Airsoft to me is something that's more about those enthusiasts who just want to shoot at other people and have fun and all that stuff. However, what airsoft does do is bring a sense of realism that paintball will never be able to achieve. And what that can do is allow, as what's happening a lot in over Asia, as seen at the G&G World Cup, is that people are using it within a competitive environment against targets.
Right.
Souping up airsoft guns to be able to be super accurate at certain distances, which, that's where airsoft actually shines.
Right.
It's clean, it's cheap, it's safe, all these things, you could do it worldwide, whereas you can't. So you have this ability to do a competitive scene like, multi-gun or 3-gun or all these different things that, that's pushing the boundaries of skill level where somebody's really fast.
Right. So I completely agree. I think competitive shooting events we'll start to see more of, and I think that's where airsoft will shine. Again, no marking system makes airsoft extremely difficult to do in a competitive aspect, team versus team or player versus player. But the more target shooting competitions we find, and the way the G&G one, the way the G&G one was run, obviously there are growing pains because this is this is an early stage in the competitive nature of airsoft with regard to target shooting like that in a worldwide stage. So obviously they're going to have some growth. But I think that's where the competitive side of airsoft should go. I don't think that all of airsoft should become that.
What do you think about, okay, so you have like the G&G course, for example, and you have a lot of, I have not yet experienced the course because I haven't had time to go there because I was doing other things that when you guys went. But so that course to me is more of an obstacle course about meeting the challenges. And then there's other companies like, I think it's like it's the one that PTS did, and it was like the dynamic one where you're basically you're clearing targets off of rooms and time segments, and you're meeting those goals as a team. So I mean, do you think that aspect is the way that people will mostly go? Like that's more of the training side, that's more of building personal skill levels, or do you think that the obstacle course, like ridiculous, like the stuff that you do in the G&G one, considering I've competitively shot for years, would never be anything I would ever do with a real competition. Do you think that that's going to be the trend that people go, or do you think it's the trend that people are going to go with more of like the professional training aspect version of it, where you're shooting targets in a room with a team and you're going through like almost like, remember what did you guys do, that was years ago, the one with the wooden targets, the Airsoft League? Is it going to go more that direction, or is it going to go more the G&G direction?
I think both could exist side by side.
Of course they could.
I would like to see the problem with using like targets that don't light up or have some sort of reaction would be very difficult in a team atmosphere. Where you're tactically clearing things, because then you need confirmation that it's been hit or something. So maybe the G&G tracking system built into that, or an integration somehow of both of those. But the other thing is that if you have a competitive environment in which you're doing room clearings and more tactical shooting, how do you rate? Do you rate the individual player? Are they scored individually, or is it scored as a team? And then is it a time thing, or is it an accuracy thing? I would like to see both exist, because I think they're two very different ideas, and I think one would draw players, in a polarized fashion. But
I think that what they would do is it would give two different directions for a player to go based on what they want to do.
Right.
There might be people who are more interested in the training side to do something else with the firearm side, and you have somebody else who just wants to compete as a team and be really good in the airsoft sense. And that's what I think they both, like you said, they both would coexist.
I think the problem becomes for both of those elements is that the field needs to change between competitions. You can't use the same layout for more than one competition.
This is the problem at the G&G one.
Right, because there were teams that had already run this course so many times that they had memorized it and memorized the randomized order of the
it has to have an element of change.
Right.
In
order for it to be a viable competitive event.
Similar to the Olympics, like you do have your, let's say like you're at the Winter Olympics and you have a downhill skiing event.
Right.
That course is going to change every Olympics.
Right.
And yes, you'll get time to practice on that course before the Olympics or Olympics, but it will change.
Because then what you're doing is you're evaluating the skill set of the skier and not their ability to reproduce the same performance on the same course every time.
Yes. Wow, this guy has a really bad name. It says Texas is dumb. This person's going to get a lot of hate coming your way. Do you think Airsoft is going to grow bigger than paintball or become outlawed or more of in more than half the states? I mean, I don't think that Airsoft is actually, I think Airsoft as it is right now is almost the size of paintball in terms of the amount of player base. Paintball gets a lot of everybody knows what paintball is.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. Not everybody knows what Airsoft is.
Right.
You know, if you're talking to somebody who's never played Airsoft before, how do you describe it? You're probably name dropping paintball, saying it's similar to paintball.
Yes, yeah, that's how I have to describe it. Yeah.
Or either that, or they're telling you, oh, so it's like paintball.
Right.
You know, so since everybody knows what that is, and that's because paintball drew a lot of people in. It just, you know, hey, we're a fraternity group. We're gonna go play paintball this weekend. You know, and they're gonna go rent some guns, go play at SC Village or whatever, and they're gonna try paintball once.
Right.
That has not happened with Airsoft yet. That's just why it's not on the same level. But you know, it is growing. The player base in Airsoft is insane.
Yes.
You know, I think that if you took the populace of everybody who paintballs and you put them together against everybody who airsofts in California, I think they would actually be paintball would be outnumbered on regular players, meaning players who play on a regular basis.
Okay.
I don't know though. I mean, I could be wrong. I could be just making up these numbers as I speak.
It sounds good to me, but I don't play paintball, so.
Have you ever tried paintball?
No.
You've never tried paintball?
No.
You should try paintball once.
No.
Why?
It's
Oh,
messy.
yeah, you don't like to get in there. Right? Go ahead. You're up. Oh, I need some water.
There's too much testosterone in paintball for me.
Yeah, no, that's California though mostly. See, I grew up playing paintball somewhere else, so.
No, this is another similar question to one we've already answered. Craziest Shotter asks, do you think that Airsoft will be more or less popular in the future? More popular.
Yeah, I think the more that video here, I'm gonna draw you another question. Here, you can read this one.
I think we're just growing at an accelerated rate, an exponential amount of growth.
Yeah.
This is something I touched on earlier. AJ Sharma asked, "Dear Answer, do you think that the fad around M4s will ever go away?" I do. I think that eventually something will usurp the M4's throne.
You think so?
I
think now that since more attention is being paid to like encouraging people to experiment with other loadouts, whether it be a German impressionist, Russian impressionist, or even online, there's like, you know, going more like video game oriented, like The Division, or, you know, anything like that. I think with more people kind of branching off into those individual things, that you will see more people buying those odd guns. But here's the thing: until those numbers shift, the manufacturer's primary gun is going to be the M4.
Yep.
To, you know, they only keep making them because people keep buying them.
Yes.
I mean, people look at the car industry, right? They're only going to make cars that sell, and they're going to stop making cars that don't sell.
Yeah, Porsche's going to continue to make user-friendly cars that don't have the same, you know, gusto or performance that they used to because moms want to buy them.
Yeah.
Don't put that in. I was kidding.
You're too late. You could have used like a
BMW's M division is going to keep making less and less amazing cars.
My realtor drives an M. Her husband bought it for her.
Well, see? No, that's nothing against your realtor. I'm sure realtors love M cars.
No, she hates it.
Really?
Yeah, she thinks it's.
just
Just
saying.
wanted a Lexus.
I mean, thankfully, I guess the M2 is.
Same thing with AMG. Like husbands buy their wives AMGs because they think that, oh, this is like so much better, but all it is more uncomfortable because it's all tuned that it's stiff.
Yeah,
It's true.
Exactly. All right, I think this is. What time are we at here?
But AMGs have always been.
All right, this is gonna be the last question.
They don't come in stick. I couldn't care less. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't. Derek Stevenson asks, "Hey, Answer, do you think there's going to be more vehicles in the future?" Love the show. We kind of did touch on this.
Yeah.
Please, it says, "Please come to Europe."
Okay.
If I come to Europe, I'm not going to airsoft, but
We're going to Denmark. That's what we're going to do.
why Denmark?
Because we got friends in Denmark now that play airsoft, and they've got like amazing games there.
But I have family in Sweden.
That's like the same country.
No, it isn't. They're on different sides of an ocean, or not an ocean, but a sea. You know geography, I hope.
Yes.
Okay, where's Sweden?
Over here.
Okay, where's Denmark?
Over here. Although it would be that way.
No, Sweden's up here and Denmark's here.
Yeah.
And Germany's down here.
Yeah, like that. Well, that was coming down.
Anyway, vehicles are going to pick up as we discussed. I think that you're going to see as the military starts decommissioning more and more Humvees
And stops leaving them in other countries.
and I think that you're going to see people like buying them, like my friend Chris, who basically bought one just because it was so cheap. Like, why not? And we have our company one, and it brings a lot to the table. You're going to see a lot of older military vehicles kind of be surplused into the market, and you're going to see people using them at airsoft games. And then you also see a lot more people turning like old Forerunners or Suburbans or whatever into airsoft vehicles, spending some money and making it happen. So, that's kind of cool too, just when you see people doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's always good for airsoft. Vehicles definitely bring a different level of the game. Because if not, it just turns into a force-on-force when you have a vehicle to, break the lines. Changes.
All right, guys, we still got a bunch of questions related to the future of airsoft and airsoft guns and things, so it might probably be a good idea to do a part 2 of this. But next week, Tim from Crytek is joining us here in the studio, so we figured we might as well shoot an insert with him since he'll be here anyway. If you guys have any Tim-specific questions about anything Tim-related, shoot those into the comments or questions section down below. Those will go into the Helm of Reasoning, so we'll have a special Tim episode. And the week after, we'll come back to
more of the future.
We'll come back to more of the future of airsoft questions.
Yeah.
In that upload next week, the Tim insert that we're going to do. If you have any questions for the future, go ahead and put those in that video. But we'll explain that
it's
at the
fine.
end of
Either
that
video, we can sort them out and make sure that they go into the correct episode. So don't stop commenting, don't stop liking, don't stop subscribing.
Mm-hmm.
See what I did there?
Yeah.
I just pulled that out of
Don't stop.
believing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, also continue submitting submitting your theme music for the Not So Round Table.
Did you see one of them that was like the ESPN logo?
Dude, that was awesome.
Yeah, no, that was pretty funny. I didn't really like the music that much, but I thought it was really funny. It was just
I thought it was cool that he
bouncing.
included a video with it.
Yeah,
Because it was originally just music.
Yeah,
So
well,
I thought it was really cool.
I'm really looking forward to like seeing somebody come up with something really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did we put a cutoff date for that?
No, we didn't. It's just gonna just be constantly dropped into our